So are we on? Looks like we're on now. Manahu, this is Carly. It's probably going to catch the first couple of minutes of me talking to myself. Hey, Bosa. Oh, this is Carly Tex. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm just going to wait a little bit for people to sign on. Put my little apron on. So for anyone joining, my name's Carly. I'm Western Mono, and I'm coming to you from Fresno, California. And this is my humble home. I'm here to give a little demonstration for Alliance for California Traditional Arts, demonstration on acorn processing and all the various types of baskets that go into the process. And I'm going to try and take about 30 years of acorn making experience and smash it all down into about 30 minutes for you guys. But I'm going to walk you through the steps of the from the acorns to the mush, and hopefully we'll make it through the whole process together. Right now, I am the director for the Advocates for Indigenous California Language Survival. AICLS.org is our website if you want to go learn more about us. We are a nonprofit that supports the revitalization of California's indigenous languages and cultures. And I've been with the Advocates since, I think I started working with them maybe in 2009 or 10. And I started work with them as a linguistic mentor at the time. Now they're called linguistic partners, but I started off working with them through the Breath of Life program. And that's a workshop that we do every 2 years to support languages that, or language communities that don't have any living speakers of the language. And we also have Master Apprentice program, which is a program that pairs a master fluent speaker with usually a younger apprentice, and they work together for 300 hours to acquire the language through immersive methods. So we support, right now we have about, I think, teams, and then we also have Seeds of Language, which is a just a little bit of support because sometimes our community members don't have maybe adequate support for a language program or from their tribe, so they seek outside support, so that's something that we provide as well. So let me see who's coming in. Hello, thank you, Catherine. Hi, Nakiko. Thanks, your work inspires me too. So I got to get started, and I'll just pitch in a little bit. Again, introducing myself for people that might be signing in for the first time. So they wanted me to talk about how I got involved with ACTA, Alliance for California Traditional Arts. And I've known the director, Amy Kishner, since I was since this. If you guys want to know a little bit more about me and my family, this is a good book. Oh, is it backwards? I can't tell. No, it looks good. Weaving a California Tradition. It's written by Linda Yamani, photographs by Dugan Aguilar, miss him. And this was a book that was done based on my work when I was 10. 10 to 12, we did this book together. And it covers basically just, you know, what life for Carly is like as a 10-year-old basket maker. How do we gather? What are some things that I do at home, going to school, working on my basket and stuff like that. So, but where was I going with that? Oh, in the book they cover a project, and my family was part of a basket making class many years ago, and It was started through a program that ACTA's director was a part of, and so that's how we met her, and we just kind of, remained in touch throughout the years, and eventually I became part of the apprenticeship program to make this basket right here. This is a coiled style of basket, and this was the basket that was our project. My grandmother and I worked on this together, and so that was in 2003, I think. I could be wrong. It's been a long time. But this was my first coiled basket, and it's a stair-step design. Since then, I've done my own work, just working on my own. And then we were a part of the apprenticeship again, myself and my sister. And my sister is I'm going to go off screen for a minute. My sister, Mandy, is our master yarn weaver. So this is a little bit of the work that she does. But when she and I were a part of the project, we did one of these milkweed belts. And this is a belt that we use for strapping babies into cradle boards, like you can see behind me. Babies strapped into the cradle boards. And this is entirely made out of milkweed twine. Milkweed, if you look at it, milkweed is a great plant for attracting monarch butterflies, especially. They love it. And when the plant goes dormant, we'll go out and gather the dry stalks, and then you break it down into threads, and then you can twist those threads into twine, and then that's how you can make the belt. So this belt is a replica of one of our old style of belts. It's very strong. It's not made in the same design as this one, but it is probably stronger, and it's all made out of that milkweed twine. I'm just seeing who else is coming in. Thank you, Karina. Oh, thank you, ACTA, for posting the link to the book. Yeah. So then, what are the belts used for? Well, they're essential to baskets. Here, I want to show you why we use the belt. So this is an example. This is a baby basket. This is a little baby doll. And this basket is called a pasuk in our language, Western Mono. And it's a very simple style of basket. It just has a simple band that goes across. Very simple design. Our baskets, when they get to the second basket, they get a design that says whether it's a boy or girl. But anyway, the belts are made so the baby can be strapped into the basket. It's not going to fall out, so they have to be strong. I mentioned the design basket. This is another cradle board. This one is my cradle board, the one that I was a baby in, and this one has a bigger hood. It has a little bit more embellishments on it with the beads, and then of course it has the design. The hood probably shows it the best. This is diamonds, and on the back, diamonds and zigzags. So diamonds and zigzags are diamonds are a girl's best friend. That's how you can remember that. So diamonds usually mean that it's a girl in the basket. And then if the basket had just diagonal lines like that, straight, or chevrons going up like that, then that would be a boy basket. And that's how we can tell if it's a boy or girl. But in the basket is also the teaching of what their role is. The diamonds and zigzags, they're very busy design, so it indicates that the girl's going to be industrious and hardworking and a good gatherer and cooker and all of that. As for a boy, chevrons, diagonal lines represents that he's going to be a good hunter and shoot his arrow straight and be a good provider for the family. So this basket is also northern style. I just want to put that out there. My father is from North Fork, and that's the northernmost band of Mono, and that's the tribe where I'm from, North Fork Rancheria. And for our baskets, northern style, they have an opening here. Southern style, which is where my mom's from. On my mom's side of the family, I'm a descendant of the Dunlap band of Mono Indians, and that's the southernmost band. They have a third leg that attaches it, so it has 1, 2, 3 legs, and so that's how you can tell southern and northern. So, so there's different traditions with the baskets, which is too much to go into right now. So let's look at the acorns, because baskets are not just a matter of beauty. They serve a function. So this is the process of taking the acorns from to our mash. So this is an example. Thank you, Julie. This is an example of the acorn mash. And this is pretty thick. This is what we would call a kib, and in our language, Western Mono. So to start off with, we have the acorns. And sometimes people ask me, how do I store my acorns? So I just wanted to show you an example right here. This is more or less that, and it's pretty heavy. This is one good way you can store your acorns for anybody who's joining in and wants to learn. Hi, Diane. You're welcome. And so this is a good way to store it. It kind of circulates the air. You just don't want to put it in any place where it's moist, because it can make the acorns wet and they can start to mold. You also want to go in and shake them up or stir them up a little bit. You can put wormwood in there. You can put bay leaf in there to kind of keep the bugs away. But usually some of your acorns have worms, so those make baby moths, and once they get out, then they're crazy. They get all over your house. So we take the acorns, and then we have to open them up. This is a fun thing that we like to do with kids sometimes. I just want to show you. This is a bowl, but this is a basket that I can use as a bowl, and this is a basket that I made. Oh gosh, I don't remember when I made this. But it's cool because it starts off like a cradle board, like that, and then it extends into a bowl. And this is a basket that we don't really see made too much these days. It's just a utility basket, just for storing and holding things. When I saw one in a museum, and I decided I wanted to make one, and then Grandma told me later on that this was actually an old style of basket that we used to make. So I was pretty glad about bringing that back. Hello for anyone joining. Carly Tex. I'm currently the director of advocates for an indigenous California language survival, and I'm a longtime apprentice and mentor involved with the Alliance for California Traditional Arts, for basket making, and all the technologies. So we have to crack the acorns open. And does anyone have any questions out there? So I'm cracking them with 2 rocks, because really there's other ways you can crack open your acorns, but I always just go with a rock. So when we do demonstrations with kids sometimes, and so one thing that we use, which is useful for the little guys, is these pecan crackers. And so you could just put your acorn in there and then smash it. Let's see if that works. Put your acorn in there, smash it, and then take the nut out. So what kind of acorns do we use? So this area, well, there's acorns that grow throughout California, so it's really just a matter of what's in your vicinity. We have preferences though, and so we like white oak or blue oak, black oak. That's a higher elevation acorn. Sometimes people say that if we don't have black oak, we don't have acorn that year, but we had a couple of seasons where we had to just pick anything that was available, so we picked anything that was available. As long as you know how to process it. So these are black oak. So the process here is going to be specific for black oak. Okay, so once you clean your acorns, then you transition to this basket. This basket is called a samaya, and it has a round shape, so you forgot the tip. And, oops, so this basket is used for getting rid of the red skins on the acorns. I don't know if you can see it that well, but it has these red holes. That's what they are, the holes of the acorn. And it's kind of like when you crack open a peanut and it has that skin you have to get rid of. So that's what this basket is used for. And as I'm stirring it like this, probably can't see it that well on the camera, but the holes are coming out through the bottom. So this is almost like a sifter. So a lot of baskets made like this, they're bigger. They're much bigger. This is a little small one. And I made this one when I was 10. All of these baskets in front of me are made within the last 20, 30 years or so. They're fairly recent because we do so much education work, working with youth. We want to have something that they can actually feel and use and touch so they can be engaged in the process as well. So that's what this basket is used for, cleaning the hulls off. Then the next step after that is, here you have your clean acorn. Next step after that is to grind them. So when it comes to grinding, there's a few ways that you can do it, and we've kind of adapted over the years on doing that, just based on what we have. So this is one thing you can get. So a lot of people in the mountains, they might have big old granite slabs with holes in them. That's the old way of grinding our acorns, on the mortar holes. This is more like a portable one, so you can, if you have one, you can use that to grind your acorns. Just sit on the ground and do that. What materials are all the different baskets? Well, for the most part, sourberry sticks is what makes the white in our baskets. It's a hard wood, very strong. Depending on the type of basket you're making, you're going to get big pieces or small pieces, but sourberry, or I don't know, wild sumac might be a way. Beautiful baskets are you gathering now? Now our gathering season is actually done as of spring. Back to the first question. Okay, so we have sourberry sticks, and then what makes the white in the design for us is sedge, and that's a material that we gather along the rivers, and you have to dig into the ground and then pull it out, and then you have to peel off the husk, and then inside is this beautiful, strong root, and that's what makes the white design in our baskets. And then red bud is what's used to make the red stitching in the baskets, and it's also used as the frame for these types of baskets. So these are all red bud sticks, and then it's used for the wrapping. So with those sticks, you can use them whole, or you can split them in half, and when you split them in half, then that's what you use to make the string. So red bud, sedge, sourberry. Another material that we use is black root. I don't have any with me right now, but it's what makes the black in the design. This is a gopher snake design, and what makes the black in the basket. And that material, when we gather that, that's another one. You have to go into the ground, dig it out, peel off the husk, and then scrape it clean, and then you have to actually dye it. So when you clean your acorns, you actually can save your acorn shell because that makes a good dye for your black root. So it's all used together. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take you guys over here. Hello. Okay, so this is another way that we can grind our acorns. So down here, this is a corn grinder. So this is another way that you can grind acorns. You just put your acorns in there in the top, and then crank it, and your acorns come out here. Now, I haven't graduated to the point of attaching a motor to my grinder, but what I do use instead is this. I'll take you guys around. Hopefully you're not dizzy. So I take some help from my Ninja. I just want to show you. I'm not going to blend the whole thing because it's really loud. So put our acorns in there. And I need something to cover the top. Oh, yeah. Any questions? Are you gathering now? Oh, I answered that one. Yeah, our basket gathering season usually ends around springtime when the plants start to bud. Our baskets are usually gathered after the first frost when the plant's dormant. Okay, I'm going to stop talking because it's loud. Oh, whoops. I could put my blades in there. I forgot to put my blade in. Put my blade in. I'm just going to work on it real quick. Hi, everyone. Again, if you're joining, this is Carly Tex, Western Mono from Fresno, California. Okay, I'm not going to do that forever. So anyway, you grind it up. This is my method doing it because it's quick. Usually just making some for my family or for maybe a gathering. And it works. I mean, my mom uses her Ninja blender, and she actually has one of these grinders attached to a motor that you can wheel around, and it cracks your acorn really fast. I don't have that yet, working on it, but my Ninja is just fine. So, if you're at home and you want to try and make it, just use what you have available. You don't have to have the mortar and pestle. Each type of acorn takes a different way of processing. Well, for us, for the black oak, it has that red hull. So yeah, we do have to have a step to the process to take the acorn hull off. But I'm sure for other types of acorns, you might not have that if they don't have that hull. So it really depends on the type of acorn. So once we grind the acorn, then we have flour. So I'm going to take you over here. What are you using? Is that a Ninja? Yes, it is a Ninja, and it has a this kind of blade in it. It's pretty good. I like it. Okay, so now we have flour, acorn flour. So this is our flour, and I wanted to show you two ways that you can sift it. This is our next step. Western mono acorn. Our style of acorn is very fine and soft, and I attribute that to our step of sifting it. So if you don't care if your acorn is a little bit gritty, you don't have to do this, but we always do it. So my mom and grandma were part of an apprenticeship through ACTA, and their apprenticeship was to make this type of basket. And this is these baskets you usually see in museums, or they're They're just not accessible, but it's a sifting basket. And a sifting tray, and sifting is actually not really accurate because the flour doesn't go through. The basket is made with very, 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 very tight stitching, very, very tight stitching. And so what you do with it is you shuffle your acorn flour, tap it up a little bit, like that. And this one, this is actually pretty small, but most acorn trays that I've seen are much bigger, because of course you're processing a lot of acorn. But Mom wanted to make this basket small enough for children to use, so they could get the idea of how to use it. So you toss up the acorn, and then you set aside, see how the grainy pieces are kind of shuffling around? So you set aside the grainy pieces. And then you get your soap root brush. Did you guys see my thumbnail where I'm holding that giant bulb? That's a soap root. And so out of that soap root, we make this brush. And so this is a soap root brush. And it's entirely made out of that bulb. And this is the fibers that surround that bulb. And then this is the inside of the bulb, and you cook it, and then when you attach it to the handle, it makes a brush, and it hardens up. So we use this to tap the acorn out of the basket, like that. And so that's how we get the soft, fine acorn out of the basket. And then this acorn right here we'll use to cook. And then the grainier pieces, we'll go regrind them again. Now, if you don't have a tamoya, it's okay, because you can get one of these guys. This is a sieve, and you can use that to get your fine acorn as well. So it works. See, you have fine acorn in there too. Next step after that, I'm kind of rushing you guys because I have only a few minutes left. Next step after that is leaching. So I think some acorns, you might not need to do this, but for the acorns that we use, they have tannic acid, they're bitter, and so we have to get the bitterness out. So this is my leaching table, and I have one outside that I'll make a sand basin and then put this cloth over. And I built the basin up, make a little hole in the center, put the cloth on, and then put my acorn in. And then I run water over it. And depending on the amount, it can take a couple hours or it can take a half day. It just depends on how much you're making. For my inside sink, oh, okay, thank you. For my inside sink adapted leaching table. This is one my husband built for me, and he built it just so I could sit it in my table or in my sink. And so what I do is I'll put something in there to kind of take the place of the sand. And what the sand does is it allows for the water to get over the acorn and to sit there for a little bit, hold on to the tannic acids, and then flow through out. So I have to have something under here to keep that resistance, but it doesn't have to be sand. So you can use a burlap sack. I've used cedar boughs, pine needles, something to go under here so that way it holds the water in a little before it drips out. These are cedar boughs, and we just use them to dissipate the water. So I'll do this sometimes like over the course of a morning, or I'll let it slowly drip overnight, depending on how much I'm making. Now, the way that you can test whether it's good is to try to get some of the water. Let me think coming through. Try to get some of the water, and you can taste the water, and if it's bitter, then it's not ready yet. If it's dark, then it's not ready yet. I had some set aside for you guys, but I accidentally dumped it out. So the other thing you can do to test it, you can taste it, put a spoon in there and take a little taste. And if it's bitter, then it's no good. And if it's not bitter, it just tastes like nice clean acorn, then it's good. So here we have some. It's like the color of urine right now. So this is probably not good. But later on, I just put this on. So later on, I'll take another test and see if it tastes better. So anyway, that's an example of how I like to leach. Let's see. Who may I use the leaching water for dye too? Oh yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. I recall a story. I don't know if she's going to watch this, but I remember a story of my mom, and we had a little doll, like the doll I have in my baby basket, and she wanted to make the doll darker to look like us, so she dipped it into some acorn water to dye it brown, and it didn't really work though. But yeah, you can use it. Oh, as a medicinal eye wash. Oh, that sounds interesting. I never thought about that. We don't really use the acorn water for anything that I know of. But if any monos out there know, let me know. I'd be interested too. So then the next step from that is to cook. Okay. Here's my stove. Okay, so here I have this is the fine acorn. Now, the acorn that's in my leaching bed, that's what this stuff is right here. I did this morning. So this is freshly leached, and it's about a cup and a half to 2 cups of acorn. And so, hello for anyone joining for the first time. I'm Carly Tex. I'm a longtime partner of Alliance for California Traditional Arts and a former apprentice, former participant of the Living Cultures program, and director of AICLS, Advocates for Indigenous California Language Survival. Oops, I got a piece of pine needle in there. Okay, so I put hour and a half, cup and a half of kawan. That's the acorn that's freshly leached, and I put about the same amount into my pot of water, and then I'm gonna turn it on. So I don't know how long it will take to cook, you guys, because you just never know. But I'm just going to show you some of the things that I prepared while it's cooking. So what you want to do is to stir it occasionally, keep it on a medium-high heat, and then bring it to a boil. Now, this is a contemporary way of cooking acorn. And then I want to show you my basket for the old way. So this is a basket in our family's collection. And this is an old style basket. And this one is, we don't use it for cooking anymore because it's just old, just too old for that. But when you're cooking, I don't know if anyone's seen this before. If you haven't, the way we cook inside the basket, sometimes we get questions like, do you put it on the fire? Can you put it on the stove or anything? And you can't because it's made of natural materials. It's going to burn. So, but what we do with the cooking basket is, first we season it, which means we put it into some water and let it soak. And sedge, that plant that I mentioned earlier, for the white design, it puffs up, combined with the tight stitching of the basket, will retain liquids. So for a liquid as thick as acorn, that works. And then the way we cook is you have these hot rocks, sometimes soapstone. These are lava rocks, and that's my preferred one to use. And you heat this up, heat it up to almost red hot, and then you put it into your acorn in your basket, and then with a wooden spoon, not your hand, with a wooden spoon or a spoon made out of oak shoots. I don't have one with me, But we'll stir the rock around, and then that cooks it from the inside. So that's how the basket is used to cook the acorn, and you bring it to a boil. But you have to keep the rock moving, otherwise it'll burn your basket. There are some demonstrations online about how that is done. You can check those out. There was a really good one recently from Hopa, and they have a good demo of how to do what is her name? I can't remember the name. I just watched it not too long ago. But I wanted to share the different ways that we eat acorn. So this is, let's see. So this is my favorite way of having it. And this is what we call yumina in our language, yumina. And it's a thick consistency. So if you have a little bit of acorn and you want to spread it out among a lot of people, then you can make yumina, and that can feed more people than if you make ikib. And this is ikib, and so it's pretty thick. See, it's like pudding consistency, super thick acorn. So that's ikib. Then we have a third way. My family's going to probably laugh at mine, but this is konawoi. They're so small. This is konawoi, and this is basically it's like an acorn biscuit. And so they dry off and they hold this little shape, and you can make them into a ball or this little drop size. So what's shape? So this is konawoi, and this is a really fun way of making it, but you can also mix it with things. It's portable. And this way, konawoi is made by taking a bowl. See if this one's cooked, I could take a bowl of it, and then you go drop it into some cold water. And then what it does is the cold water hardens up the acorn, and once it cools down, then you can pick it up. So that's konawoi. So here are acorns almost. Are there any other questions out there? So our acorns, this is so much fun, you guys, watching water boil. But let's see, what else can I talk about? Oh, the taste. Sometimes we get questions about how does it taste. And I guess if you can imagine what, let's see, if you eat cream of wheat, but maybe you don't put sugar, you don't put milk, you don't put cinnamon and all of that in there, that's what it kind of tastes like. It's very bland. It's also, so it goes good with salty meat. So if you have like a good piece of salmon or eel or venison, it goes really well with meat. Let's see. Sometimes we get questions about the nutritional content, and it's high fat, protein. It's basically something that, again, is good with another protein source. Are there any flavors added? Well, what you can do is you can add a little bit of salt. Sometimes people add salt to it. That's good. I have here, this is for anybody who lives in the valley, you know what this is, saltgrass. And so sometimes we'll have some with a little bit of that on top for a salty taste. I generally don't really put anything into it myself. I just like it with a little bit of savory, something savory. So salt, fish, meat, that kind of thing. Sometimes, let's see, I've heard of some people putting sweet stuff in it, or eating it with salsa, but I'm kind of a purist. I just think it's good just by itself, honestly. Let's see, are there any flavors? The yumina, do you drink it? Yes, this is kind of like a soup, or yeah, like a drink. I would say it's about the consistency of a smoothie. So yeah, and it's a good way to spread out the acorn. Yeah, this is cold. It's good cold, and it's good hot. And the longer it sits, and the temperature cools down, the thicker it'll get. So let's see. What do you eat these varieties with? Well, like I said, just usually a piece of meat or by itself. I don't know, seaweed. Seaweed's good with it. Hey, if anybody's watching and wants to comment, you know, what you like to eat your acorn with, let us know. Looks delicious. Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone. So I'm going to show you where my acorn is right now. So right now it's about at the consistency of a banana. So it's heated up, it's thickened, it's almost to the point of boiling, and it's not quite to the point where I want to make a conaway with it. It's still too thin. So if I let it keep cooking, it's going to thicken up to the water will cook off and it'll become an kip. Salmon alongside the porridge. Yes, salmon. Salmon is delicious and it is a good side to the acorn. Do you make it often? Julie likes it with meat and torts. Yeah, that's good. I wouldn't have it with torts myself, just because it is a good carb source on its own. It's something that would probably put me to sleep if I had acorn and torts. But let's see, do I make it often? Yeah, I guess so. It's usually for special occasions, birthdays, funerals. That's a special occasion, although a sad one. Thanksgiving, Christmas. That's usually when we'll break it out because we know that we have elders and people that come to the family get together that they'll eat it. But actually, not too many people really enjoy it. I don't know, maybe of the younger generation. So there's kind of movements now to take it and to make it into something different, like a cookie or a brownie or cake, protein bite. I know there's a youth group in Santa Rosa that's been making a protein bite. That sounds really interesting. Can you freeze it? You can freeze it. You can probably freeze it like this, cook it in. Actually, I would say I don't know about freezing it like this, but when you can freeze it is when right after the leaching process, when you can freeze it like this. When this is done, you can take this and you can freeze that, and then just have that ready to go. The other thing you can do with it is that leaching, that kawan, the acorn after the water's been through it, you can lay it out and dry it. Dry it out. You have to go outside, move it around with your hands a little bit, but you want to make sure it's all completely dry, and almost to a powder consistency. And then with your with that powder, you can actually store that for several months. So interesting story with that. That's actually how I don't know how I caught my husband or whatever, because I sent him a pack of acorn flour to cook because I know he liked it, and then he sent me with a box of Christmas cookies, and then he sent me a large bag of pine nuts. And so when my grandma found out that we gave each other those foods, and she said, "That's it, you guys are engaged." So I'm gonna try this. I don't know if it's gonna work on camera, but I wanted to show you. Freeze the flour for later. Yeah, you can freeze the flour later. You can freeze the flour for later. You can freeze the kawan. You can dry the kawan and save that for later as well in an airtight container. Salmon and corned beef. Yes, salmon and corned beef would be good with it. How do you store it? How much do you make in a season? Oh gosh, I don't know if you guys got to see that big 5-gallon bag that I had earlier, but I probably make about, our stash right now, it's about 9 of these, and we'll probably go through maybe a third of that in a season, because we save some for later, and we give some away, and we make some for family. And then sometimes we combine it too. Like we'll combine what I have with my mom, with my sisters, and so on. But you can store it in the bag. You can store it in, say if you don't have a big backyard or anything, what you can do is you can get a laundry basket, like one of those wicker laundry baskets, and then take out the lining, and then you can put your acorns in there and put the lid on top and keep it in your garage or keep it someplace where the animals won't get it. That's a good way of storing it too, just as long as the air is circulating it. So we actually built a big box container because we had so much acorn, about 45 gallons worth, that we built a big container, lined it with chicken wire and some squirrel-proof wire. You like it on your own or with some salty meat? Yeah, that sounds delicious. Never had it with something sweet. Yeah, I don't know. Sweet acorn just doesn't really appeal to me. I mean, I think it's just an acquired taste, you know? So I'm going to show how to do, I'll try to show you how we do this conaway. This I actually don't make that often because we're always trying to spread it out and try to feed a little bit more people. So let's see. So we just kind of drop it in there. Any words of wisdom for the viewers or what's been feeding you? Oh gosh. You know what? Language work has actually been feeding me, and finding spaces where I can talk with people about everything that's going on. As the director of my organization, we're looking at what we're planning for the future, and a lot of our meetings have been real business-like and talking about what we can't do, but I think it's important to talk about what we can do in this time. So I've actually been leaning on language a little bit more, and leaning on basket making and acorn making a little bit more too. Just getting outside, getting with nature, trying to connect. And so I've been encouraging our participants of our programs to also get more connected with language, do more work. It's important for your spiritual and mental health. As you're at home with your kids, maybe thinking about some ways that you can sort of indigenize your space, whether it's focusing on your language, having a language teaching while you're homeschooling. We partnered with News from Native California to do a blog post to share different resources so people could share their language online, places to go where you could teach. And then I just started too to post some videos for language teaching, because before the pandemic, I was doing some classes, and now I can't meet with my classes. But it's always my thought that language and culture doesn't stop once you leave the classroom, and you have to just incorporate it into your life every day. So if it's important that people are looking for something, then I'll make something online so they can find what they need. Maybe it's from their language. So if you can maybe think about a prayer in your indigenous language that you can do every day. One of our board members has been doing prayers on his Facebook. Maybe you can be creative and write a poem or come up with a story in your language, something that's going to help you out and find a good space. So I think I will wrap it up there, you guys, because, this is my conaway, and you can't see them that good, but they're lumps in the cold water, and I have to let them cool, and then hopefully I'll be able to pick them up. I think my acorn was too thin for that, so we'll see how they come out. But ideally, they would come out looking like this. So conaway is that type, and then we have akib, the pudding consistency, and then we have yemena, the drink. So let's see. I'm just gonna wrap it up and say thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching the video and listening to me go on about acorn making and the baskets. Like I said, this was about 30 years of experience rammed into about 30 minutes or so. So if I seemed rushed, it was a lot. But if you want to know more, you can find me on Facebook. And if you do feel like helping me out or helping out my organization and the work that we do with the advocates, then you can go to our website, aicls.org, and you can make a donation and find out a little bit more about us. Also, if you want to help out, we have events that we're planning for next year, and we're always looking for volunteers to come help us. Our Breath of Life usually takes place in Berkeley. Our Languages Life has been taking place out here in Fresno County. So that there's an opportunity there if you want to get involved. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, everyone, for submitting questions. I appreciate you for joining us today. See what else. If you'd like, Alliance for California Traditional Arts. They support arts in California, and it's a really good organization. So if you want to help them out too, you can go see their website, actaonline.org. And their Facebook, and support the arts in general. Just a lot of people are creating some good content now because we're all at home and we have that need to connect with each other. So it shows a lot. A little bit of support goes a long way for language and cultural work. So again, I'm Carly Tex, and thanks again for watching my segment on Shelter Together with Alliance for California Traditional Arts. And I hope to see you guys outside of the Facebook world. Take care. Mana huba. I'm going to end it now. Bye, guys.